Testing, testing. There we go. Sorry, one brief moment as I fix my internet. It is having issues. And then I want that. Not my internet, my audio. There we go. Hello everyone, how you doing? Stomp Art Gamer here. It has been a hot minute since I make a video. I recently just moved to a new house. That's why behind me looks completely different. And also you'll notice over in that wall right about there where my finger is pointing right now is a poster for the Airbus A320, which I'll now be flying for a new airline. Undisclosed as always, I'll just say it's an American-based airline. That being said, I've been studying and busy with preparing for training for my new assignment, flying for a much bigger airline in a much bigger airplane. Very excited about it. I've got my little basement dad cave set up here. You can just barely see the gym. Those are the mats for my little gym area over that way, and the fridge, etc. Got a nice little setup, a place right over there where I'll be putting together my 3D printer and building my model airplanes and RC airplanes, etc. So it's a good little setup. I got a little bed behind me for when I got the early reports. So I got to be at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning. I can sleep down here. So that being said, I've looked forward to making this new house that we've bought my own and doing a lot of customization. But for now, today, we're talking about the Drake Corsair, the forward-thinking exploration ship from Drake Interplanetary. The main things of note for the Drake Corsair is it's a direct competitor to the Constellation. It has one size 3 shield to the Constellation's 2 size 3 shields, roughly half the hull HP, but almost double the firepower as the Constellation. But it does not have that little ship in the back. What do you call that? Parasite fighter? Sure, we'll go with that. It doesn't have a secondary ship, so it is literally just the ship. You can mount a rover. It carries a little bit less cargo. But let's face it, this is an exploration ship as built by Drake. The reality is it is a piracy ship slash blockade runner. I see it more as a blockade runner than even a piracy ship. It has a lot of pilot-controlled forward firepower, 3 turrets, 2 side-facing, 1 on the top. So it's roughly equivalent to the Taurus as far as the top turret, and the side turrets will help a little bit. But in my opinion, you're going to see here in a moment, I did fly with a keyboard and mouse yesterday, and I'm calling it the Drunken Sailor rather than the Corsair. You really do flying the ship. I love the sound of the rear ramp. It sounds like a transformer transforming. So this is the rear ramp. We're going to go ahead and enter through this way, do a brief tour of the ship as we walk through. I flew it yesterday with mouse and keyboard. This was my first time trying to use my dual stick setup. I do have a broken toe, another reason I have not been making a lot of videos. I'm going to be trying to fly with only 1 foot, which means my rudder pedals... I will not be doing combat, or if I do, it'll be very short-lived combat. So it's kind of like a component area to work on the ship, etc., gravity generator, etc. We got a little crew quarters here. Very sparse, but utilitarian. Mess hall, very sparse, but utilitarian. Let's see, what is this? This is the shower, I believe? Yeah, shower. Emergency supplies, etc., quarters, and then we move on to here, and we've got side turrets, and then the top turret is controlled via here, the co-pilot seat, and this is the pilot seat. So overall, I'm going to tell you I love the look and feel of the ship. It is very Drake. It gives me a lot of hope. Hey, Casey, how you doing? Ahoy, sailor. It very much kind of makes me think of a combination of a World War II bomber. Even the seats are kind of reminiscent of maybe Korean War era seats. And then you got these kind of like, somebody pointed out, it's like an F-16 joystick mixed with like 10 keyless keyboard from today and controls out of, it just, I love the feel. I love the look of the ship. I love the feel of the ship as far as its feel. Now, from the pilot perspective, we're going to talk about a few things that I do have issues with. The usual, 2D Drake radar display has always been an issue for me. Now, why is my Toby not working? I don't know why my Toby's not working. Real fast. Controls, comms, FOP, head tracking source Toby, enable tracking, yes. Okay, I don't know why my Toby is not working. We'll have to do this without my Toby, so that's gonna suck, but it is what it is. So if we look down here, we can see, you got rudder pedals, the joystick and throttle that looks like it was an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, we have to fly this. I mean, yeah, from the pilot perspective, I'm not sure I would enjoy flying this ship. Very convoluted screens and controls. But let's go ahead and take her up. I have put some upgraded components and changed some weapons out. You'll see I'm running 4 Rhinos and 2 Panthers. I do believe this is not a ship that you're going to want to go size 5 fixed unless you're going after something like a Hammerhead, a large size ship. So if you're going up against a large size ship, maybe something less maneuverable. So maybe a 600i, maybe a Constellation. This is slightly more maneuverable than a Constellation, but you're going to see why I call it a Drunken Sailor, especially in atmosphere. Space, it flies okay. Atmosphere, it's a Drunken Sailor. I mean, that's the only way to say it. I'm going to have to use my external camera here since I do not have my Toby working for some reason. I was not aware. I'll try to get it fixed for next videos. It wasn't working at Microsoft Flight Simulator for me earlier today, and I thought that was just an issue with Microsoft Flight Simulator, but obviously it's an issue with Toby. So here we are, we're heading up. It's a windy day here in Microtech. Surprise, surprise. Interesting thing to note, I'm going to raise my gear right now, and you will notice the wings stay up. They do not come down. Alt-K, left Alt-K is the current keybind for keyboard and mouse to lower the wings into the cool kind of Y-wing format, Imperial, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to go ahead and head on up. I'm going to use cruise control as much as possible, simply due to the fact that, like I said, I do have a broken toe, and flying with just your left foot and rudder pedals is challenging. So we're going to come up here, I use some boosts, got balanced power. We're going to go and keep her limited to SCM speed for now. So let me get us into the SCM range. And we'll level off at about 4,000 and do some atmospheric testing. Alright, so still in cruise again because of aforementioned foot issue. Level with the horizon. Left turn. The nose wants to drop. Very slow. A decent turn rate. We're going to level it off. There we go. So you'll see as you bank, watch the nose. So I'm going to not do... I'm using correction right now, right? I'm not using correction with my right hand. I'm just going to induce some roll. Here we are, level at 0. Some roll. Watch that nose. It drops whenever you roll, and then stabilizes once the roll stops. So you need to be very cognizant of that as you're flying the ship, at least in atmosphere. So we'll do a full pitch over, looking at the city, and 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000. So it's going to be roughly 20 seconds to make the full rotate. Alright, we'll do an only yaw turn. I think we know how that's going to end up. Only yaw, the nose is dropping. I'm having to pitch up severely with only yaw. Barely turning, barely turning. So yaw only in atmosphere is a big no-go. You're going to have to roll and use your 45s, which is how you're supposed to fly this, any ship anyway. So that's a full left and up, and then use your roll to adjust your pitch, because as you roll, the nose drops, right? So it's not the best at turning. You can see why you are not dogfighting in atmosphere in this. You're probably not even going to dogfight a Connie. Let's be honest. A Connie, I think, is more maneuverable in Atmo. The acceleration, so let's turn off cruise control here. Slow it down to 0. I have to use my left foot on the right rudder. There we go, and accelerate. We're not going to use any Just straightforward. Very good acceleration, really, in Atmo. Pretty much tops off at SCM speed anyway, even though we have... No, SCM's off. It was on. Duh. Still good acceleration. Nose does drop again once you get above SCM, so you have to use some back stick to control it. Alright, let's check the backwards acceleration in Atmo. So again, you see any power changes, and she really just kind of does not want to work well for you. Here we go, full reverse. No boost. A little bit slower, but not by much. Still pretty good rear acceleration in Atmo. Alright, let's do full roll. We're just going to sit here and hover and roll. Pray for us. Nose drops. I'm adjusting. Pretty good roll, and stop roll. It continues for almost... Okay, a rotation and like almost a full rotation uncommanded there. So you definitely need to use opposite roll. Roll is not this ship's strong point. So be prepared as you put in your roll command to then counter it, or else you will lose control of the ship. Alright, let's head on up to atmosphere, cruise control back on so I can keep resting my broken toe. We'll pitch her up. Do 35. We got a lot of pirates here. If we get attacked, we'll probably die because I can't fight right now with my toe. It's, as Avenger 1 calls it, the one-leg squad. He and I have been chatting about it. It's kind of funny. So we're going to head on up here, take an external look at the ship. I mean, it's a great look. I love the look of it. I love the aesthetic, and it gives me hope for my Kraken. I really do like it. I do not like the atmospheric modeling of it. I'm hoping some of it is a bug. I'm hoping the roll and the drop of the nose is a bug, having to do with thruster placement of the big main thrusters in the back. But it could just be that's how she's going to fly. So you need to be cognizant of that in atmosphere. Is that whenever you're in combat in atmosphere, you're going to want to keep your distance. You're going to want to run gimbaled, because she will have a tendency to oversteer. So you're going to overshoot your targets. You need to release your controls sooner, knowing she's going to continue to turn in that direction. So it's going to be quite the challenge to use this in combat in atmosphere. Let's take a look at how she does in space now. So we're coming up to about 10,000. Should be able to use our quantum drive to get the heck out of Atmo. Not yet, she says. Not yet. A little bit more. There we go. Kill power, so we lose some of the forward momentum. Hey, I said jump, not close. Again, I haven't played Starset on this setup in months because of the move. We moved, I did some initial training with the new company, etc. So I am out of practice, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go. Up to SCM speed. Oof, my toe hurts. Back to cruise. Roll in space, hand off right stick. Rolling. No nose drop. Releasing control now. Little bit better in space, but still the same thing where it will overshoot. So really, roll is a difficult thing to control in this beast. Pitch. I hope you all can hear the audio. You hear the metal creaking on the ship. Alright, so full yaw turn. I released it a beam, just a little bit of oversteer, not as bad. Both pitch and yaw about 20 seconds to make a full circle. We'll do a 45-degree turn now, so that's basically, here's an example. I'm going to turn about 45 degrees, and I'm going to use the turn. About 12 seconds. So you shave 8 seconds using a 45-degree turn. So relatively good, and relatively good control at a 45 in space. So in space, She's much better in space than she was in Atmo, 100%. So she handles, I would say, pretty equivalent to something like the Constellation in space. Just in atmosphere, she is a dog. She is a drunken sailor in atmosphere. All right, we're going to go ahead and go full acceleration now. Wow. 5G acceleration at top speed. That's not using tricording. Just straight up acceleration. Deceleration. So I'm just off the controls, letting her decelerate on her own. About 2.5 Gs. If we add some back to it, full reverse, 2.5 Gs still. So she's a flip and burn ship to slow down. So Sunny Boy is making the comment, doesn't make sense you have wings that big but fly like crap in atmosphere. It actually does from the aerodynamic aspect. So let's talk about the actual shape of this craft. You have 6 big engines here, roughly the center of gravity of the ship, right? So we're going to assume that most of the weight of the ship, because remember the component section is right about mid-wing area. You come in through the cargo bay, and then the components are about mid-wing. And then in the front here, you got your habitation, the controls, and some turrets. So the CG might be a little bit ahead of the wings, actually. Yeah, I would say your CG is actually closer to that bulge. See the bulge where the docking collar is? That's about where your CG is probably on the ship. Add cargo, it might balance out, etc. I don't know if they actually have cargo center of gravity in the game yet. But if they do, that's about where it's going to be. So as you're sitting here flying in atmosphere, you've got these big wings that provide lift, right? We're going to assume they provide lift. I don't believe they actually do in game. This design, the tri-wing, right? So the right wing is going to be giving you a lift. The left wings, the two combined, are not going to equal the upward lift of the right wing. They're going to give a little bit more directional stability because you've got some up and down there. So kind of like a vertical stabilizer mixed with a wing. Almost like a... Yeah, almost like a bonanza kind of like tail surface if you tilt your head. So it gives you more straight line directional stability rather than turn. The turning on this ship is 100% based on your thrusters, right? So your rear engines here are literally just forward power. We got plenty. Acceleration is great. The reverse thrust is okay. You've got these big kind of outlets. Think of those thrust reversers there. Now, thrusters. Here's pitch up. So we've only got, looks like 6 up thrusters. All right, 6, 7, 8 up thrusters. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6 up, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 down. So you have plenty of down thrusters, but not a lot of up. So as you're into the turn and you're trying to roll, the roll is being controlled by these thrusters. And not even all of them, it seems, just some on each side. So that's why the roll gets sloppy, because you're rolling about this kind of wide axis, right? So you get it in there, but you have these relatively weak maneuvering thrusters, and in my opinion, not enough, and they're fixed. They're not gimbaled like you would have with Anvil or Aegis. They are fixed thrusters. So let's zoom in here a little closer. And look at them. Let's just full down. And then put a roll. No, okay, yeah. So they have, so you got the vertical, and then as you put in the side, you can just look at the front there. You can see where it's 2 thrusters, up, down, left, right. So really, it's not a maneuverable ship because it's relying on these little fixed thrusters at 90 degrees, and the sum of those 2 thruster outputs to give you the roll and the yaw that you're looking for. Because again, the yaw is just based on those. See the thruster in the back going one way, the front going the other way. That's all you have. So it's a relatively weighty ship with very small thrusters to control its maneuvering. So that's why in space, it's not bad. But when you get it in atmosphere, now you've combined the weight of the ship, gravity, the lack of true lift. You have some lift, but mostly this design is for directional stability, meaning go straight. Go straight, go fast. This ship is designed to come up on your target, come up from behind, full power, blow it up, blow past, come back around, and make another pass if you need to. If you don't need to, come back around to loot. That's kind of how this ship is designed and built. Or if you're running a blockade, so let's say you've been interdicted by UEE, you're going to open up full fire at the Mantis or whatever's interdicting you, blow it up as you fly past it, and continue on your way, relying on your 1 size 3 shield and very good acceleration to get away. Let's do a tricord real quick. So let's get it into tricord. So remember what I was talking about tricord. Let's see, what's my keybind for coupled versus decoupled? I don't remember. Don't! I think it's this? No. This? There we go. All right, so tricording, we're going to accelerate forward. So we're going to add 3 chords. We're going to have some up or down, some forward, and some left or right. So we're going to have a yaw component, a pitch component, and then the forward component. So here we go. We're going to tricord accelerate, get rid of the thrust limiter, and I think we're going to get it right around 10 Gs if I do it right, but I'm out of practice. So here we go. I did it wrong. Anyway, there is 10 Gs. I did it wrong. We're kind of moving the same direction, but we got a 10 G acceleration. I'm out of practice. Forgive me. But a 10 G acceleration from a ship of this size is really good. So you're going to outpace those chasing ships because you're going to be roughly a dead stop. They're going to be at a dead stop. You're going to be able to open that distance. When the control modes come in that we're getting later, that's going to make a huge difference as far as how this ship is going to fly and control, because that acceleration will become more important for opening and closing gaps to really get onto a ship's tail and keep them in combat. So again, my overall review of the ship from a pilot perspective, it seems like as far as the cockpit is concerned, the pilot is an afterthought. Its main purpose was to have cargo, a reasonable straightforward from the front to back layout, and to really make the ship perform well in a straight line with some maneuverability in space. Like I said, in space she's not bad. She's equivalent to a Constellation or a 600i. So in space it is definitely a competitor for those ships. In atmosphere, not so much, sir. Not so much. In atmosphere, she's definitely more of a drunken sailor. And that's, again, because of the lack of thruster power for your maneuvering thrusters. If she had stronger maneuvering thrusters, this would be a true contender for the Constellation, and I think we would see a lot more people switching from, say, a Connie to the Cutlass. But for space use, she's great. She's a little bit better, I believe, than the Constellation. I have to test it. Oh, I'm flying with my foot and it hurts. That being said, we're going to have to see in the long run how she plays out. And again, practice is everything in a ship. Every ship has its own personality. If I fly it more in atmosphere, I might get more used to the drunken sailor technique and be able to compensate for it. I do very well in the Buccaneer that also tends to fly like a drunken sailor. So, if you're good at drunken boxing, its atmospheric performance may not be that bad for you, and you may be able to compensate. So I am most certainly not telling you to not get this ship. I think it has its place in the verse. It's more of a blockade runner, interdictor kind of style ship than an all-around exploration ship. I really find its exploration lacking. It doesn't have a survey table, no survey drones. The sensor suite remains to be seen. We don't have those in the game yet. It's more or less just a long-distance Cutlass with a lot of firepower. And again, it's the same kind of Cutlass mentality. One less shield, less hull health, a little bit better maneuverability in space, and a little bit worse in atmosphere. It's Drake. It is quintessential and beautiful Drake. I like it. I'm probably going to keep it. We'll see. I'm going to have to test it more and fly with it more when I actually have a working tow. So again, now when we lower the gear, your wings go into landing configuration. And you'll notice we didn't even fire the guns. There is no doubt that she has a lot of forward firepower. Yeah, camera release of Corsair taken out Starfarer in 6 seconds. Now, that being said, that target was stationary, Sonny. Camera was doing that vid of a stationary Starfarer, nose to nose with a Corsair. Of course it's going to take it out in 6 seconds. There's no return fire, no need to maneuver, closer range. In combat with fully crewed ships, everything changes. You got people balancing shield power, you got people in turrets, you got missiles flying, you need to evade those missiles. Things change. That is one very important thing to note about any test, even my testing videos. I flew in atmosphere, went to space, kind of maneuvered around a station and came back down. Doesn't tell you anything about how the ship performs in real-world environments. I'm keeping the video going so you can see me attempt to land using 1 foot to control the rudder pedals. It should be entertaining. That's assuming that New Babbage gives me a pad.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
There's so many. There we go. Oh, thanks for the smaller pad. Can't you give me the big pad? Let's see if I can get this fat girl in there. Overall, like I said, it's an excellent ship, I think, for its purpose. We'll need to give it some time to see how she performs real world. And even now, like, I'm more hesitant flying her, and I'm more careful in the atmosphere, and it's not bad. But I'm not doing combat. I'm not up against, you know, a constellation or a couple of cutlasses. So a lot of that I highly recommend. We have the free fly event coming up today. You know, when you test the cutter, take the Corsair out and give her a shot. I will try to make a video for the, I wish I had my Tobii eye tracker. This is frustrating. I'm going to try to make a video for the cutter later today. I have to do some more studying. And I do intend to make a video every manufacturer day going over... Yeah, I mean, she's not bad. As long as you're not using too much power maneuvering, she does alright. I intend to make a video of each manufacturer day, you know, Drake, RSI, going through the halls and kind of giving people a tour. Because I know some people are at work, some people are away, and just do not have a time to do videos. And she does have a bug right now with the landing gear. You notice how she's kind of unsteady? Look how short those landing gear are. Supposedly, they're not extending all the way. I don't know. But anyway, decent landing. Let's see how much our little test run would cost us. 31 UEC for repairs. Somehow we took damage. I guess just from maneuvering. Hydrogen's going to cost us 366. So we went through 4.8 SCU of hydrogen fuel. So she's a gas guzzler for hydrogen. And the quantum, I got an XL1 on here, so it's a thirsty drive, but still not bad. So she does pretty good with the quantum fuel. So that's pretty much it for the ship. I like it, scale of 1 to 10 for a ship. For its purpose, I've given her an 8 to a 9. She's not far off from perfect. If she had either gimbaled thrusters or more maneuvering thrusters or more powerful. And again, so those are things that can be adjusted. CIG can adjust the maneuvering thrusters and make them stronger. If they do that, I think we're going to be looking at a very competitive ship in atmosphere as well as out. But again, we're talking balance, so if you make it better in atmosphere by strengthening those thrusters, you might make her too overpowered in space. So, I don't know. I think you're just going to have to live with its performance in atmosphere, because that's just how she's going to fly. Now, is this the elevator? Nope, this is the docking color, storage, so that's not bad. That's a good little spot there. I wanted to show you guys the elevator, so if you're still sticking around for the video, we're going to look for the elevator. I used it to get in once. I'm not quite sure where to find it. Is it here? I think these are all crew quarters. Is this the elevator? Yep. So, the elevator's pretty awesome. It's 3 levers. So yeah, Casey, on character-wise, the Corsair is a 10. This is, it 100% embodies a Drake aesthetic. So let's see, mess hall's the middle one, surface is the right, roof is the left. So we'll go to the surface. So it's a perfectly Drake kind of elevator. I love it. And I like that we have 2 ways to enter the ship, the ramp and the elevator. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. I'll leave you a look of probably what most people are interested in, which is the forward-facing firepower. You can equip 4 size 5s and 2 size 4s fixed. Again, current maneuvering, probably doable in space. If you run that loadout in atmosphere, you're a dead man. Sorry, you're dead. It just oversteers too much. Anything that isn't a hammerhead, you're gonna have a problem. But again, it's great. Sonny, you have a good day. Take care. It's a great ship. It fits the pirate slash anti-establishment aesthetic. I like her. She's got a place in my heart, and I think she'll keep a place in my hangar. So again, everyone, take care. Have a wonderful day. I hope to make some more videos today and later as IE goes along and be more active with you guys, except when I'm in training. I will be leaving for training right around Christmas and gone for about a month in the simulator. I might make you guys a little video when I'm in the sim, picture of the Airbus simulator, etc. So maybe stay tuned for that. Take care, everybody.